mom and dad first started dating, my dad would do this thing where he'd call her up and be like, what's up? I want to take you out tonight. And she'd say, ooh, sorry, I already have plans tonight. That's not going to work. And then he'd say something like, well, why don't you just like cancel your plans and hang out with me? And then she would say like, absolutely not. I am not going to change my schedule around just because you called me and want to go out in 5 minutes. Because my mom is Rutabaga Queen, and the queen doesn't change her schedule for anybody. My dad realizes he needs to get on my mom's schedule. So he goes ahead and he's like, hey, let's go out for Halloween together, like blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, I mean, like, all right, like that sounds really good. So they decide that they're going to go to a local bar that's having like a big Halloween party. And my mom's going to go ahead and pick up my dad. And everything's going great, blah, blah, blah. Halloween arrives. My mom goes to pick him up, but she runs into some stuff and she ends up being late. And this is before like cell phones. And I think there were beepers, but my mom is like, I don't know, this microwave seems pretty high tech. Can we trust it? So even if she would have had a beeper, she wouldn't have had a beeper. So she's late to pick up my dad, and, she finally shows up, and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I'm so late to pick you up, this thing or whatever happened. And then she's like looking at my dad, and he's like, oh no, that's totally fine, you're late. And she's like, are you okay? And he's like, oh yeah, no, I've just been, just like hanging out. What my mom didn't know is that my dad got super depressed and sad because he was like, that's it, she's dropping me, that's why she's not picking me up, and blah, blah, blah. And he started sadness drinking. Shouldn't do, but he did it. And so when my mom finally showed up, my dad was pretty drunk, but he was like, oh, I don't want to ruin our date by being like, I am way too inebriated to leave this house. So he's like, yeah, let's go to the bar. So then, they go to the bar, and my mom was like, hey, he seems like a little off, but like whatever, we're having a great time. Well, my mom was dressed up as a belly dancer, and my dad decided he was going to dress up as a flasher. And so he was wearing his bathrobe with like a tank and shorts underneath, but he had a banana tied around his waist, and they were like running up to people, and she'd be like, look at my date, and he'd be like, ha ha ha, and he would just show off his banana that was an actual banana. So they were like going around doing this. Well, this happened once, and he goes and he flashes it open, and this woman reaches over, grabs the banana, and crushes it in her palms, which, what a power move, love that. And then, my mom's laughing, and she looks at my dad, and he looks at her, and he just starts bawling. She's like, are you doing well? And he's like, it broke my banana! And he's like holding up the shattered remnants of the banana, like, you have a banana! And my mom was like, how much have you had to drink tonight? And he's like, oh, it's been a lot. But anyway, that was one of my mom's favorite dates that she ever went on with my dad. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye! Mom and dad first started dating, my dad would do this thing where he'd call her up and be like, what's up? I want to take you out tonight. And she'd say, ooh,